What's up, everybody? Anthony here, specialtymotorcars.net, and behind me you can see another beautiful Cadillac Eldorado, just like the last one that I had. Well, technically not the last one I had, the second to last one I had. This is a custom-built Coachbuilders convertible, done new at Coachbuilders out of Florida to be a drop-top custom Cadillac convertible. It's a 2001 model year, finished in a beautiful white diamond, classic Cadillac color combination. Only 40,000 miles. I'm going to do a walk-around video. I'm going to tell you all about the custom coach works on this car, show you inside, outside, all around, and we'll take it for a spin, tell you all about it in this video. Let's get into it. Sweetheart. And here she is, a beautiful white diamond over shale leather with a white vinyl top, custom built in 2001 by Coachbuilders. These cars were essentially commissioned, usually by the dealers selling them new. You could also do it as a private individual, but a lot of dealers, well, not a lot of dealers, there was some select dealers that specialized in these. Deville Cadillac being one of them is where this car was sold new at. So I know this was done by Deville. My 2004 DHS convertible was a Deville car. Big Al's red DTS convertible, the older body style, that was a Deville car. I've seen a lot of Deville cars. I know Deville was big. There was also a dealership up in, I think, Illinois somewhere that did these as well. And offer them as new cars. And essentially that's what it was. They took a brand new Cadillac Eldorado, sent it to Coachbuilders. They cut the top off, did the quarter windows, full power top. Like the brown one that I had recently had, these are cars that were used very little. I mean, for the most part, these cars have low miles. I've seen them ragged out with tons of miles. I've had a couple high mileage ones. Personally, in the past, but this particular car is a two-owner car. The first owner bought this car brand new and had it in Florida. Kept it up until 2012, I want to say, and then that's when the second owner bought it. The second owner is a local car collector. He bought it with 32,000 miles on it. It's now got 40,000 miles, and this car is in phenomenal shape. Beautiful pearl white with that full white vinyl top. Convertible top. This is almost just like the one that I sold last year, was the same color combination. As you can see here, beautiful 18-inch Vogue tires and wheels, or the Vogue Stardust wheels. Very common wheel for these cars, and they absolutely in gorgeous condition. Normally I'd take something like that off on these cars, because at this age, usually from not caring for them, they're corroded. But the wheels that are on this car, they are the nicest Vogue Stardust wheels I have seen since they were new. So we're going to go around and tell you a little bit more about this car. Like I said, this car belonged to a local collector. Very picky local collector who's got amazing car collection. And to have a car like this in his collection, obviously it has to be a nice one. And it was. So I was very glad to get the opportunity at this car and have it here at my shop. Pride in ownership at its finest. Obviously, like I said when I had the brown one, which was a one-owner car, usually the first, second owners take great care of these cars. They pay a lot of money for them. They were somewhat relatively new or brand new for the first owner, and then the second owner usually buys it. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, these cars get passed around. It's like a Corvette. It's kind of one of those things that some people only keep short term. And when you have short-term ownership and many short-term ownership, owners, they usually don't get cared for as well. So to find one like this is really getting hard to find. And this one's an absolutely gorgeous example. This is the hard boot convertible version. And I've explained it in my last few that I've had. Last few have been hard boot conversions, where it has this sloped roof line here, and you can actually see here, this is the tonneau cover that will open, and the top will go in there and hide away completely, where they also had a soft boot version where the top would rake down and go right into there, and the button trim snap part would go right around, and that would retain the original look of the roof line as a non-convertible. So that's why I kind of like the soft boot versions, but I like the hard boot versions because when the top's down, you have the hard tonneau cover covering the roof, where the soft boots aren't like that. So there's pros and cons between each. I believe these ones are a little bit more sought after, but again, it's personal preference. Beautiful white top on this car. I'm going to show you the top. I've already walked around the car. Then I'm going to put the top down and then show you the car with the top down. But I wanted to show you condition of the top. Top is in beautiful shape. All the stitching. Let me get the pointer. You can see all along the edge here, real clean. This is where these tops usually start to show wear. Absolutely none of that. The white is nice and vibrant, bright white all throughout. Has the hard or the solid glass window with rear defrost. Top, like I said, all in beautiful, beautiful shape. No fraying or delaminating around the window here. And even on this side, you can see nice and clean. All the stitching and everything is absolutely beautiful. The seams. Now, I feel like I'm repeating myself, and I might be throughout the video here, because this is like the 4th time I've attempted to do the video on this car. I got this car in last Thursday, sweated my butt off on Friday, getting it washed up and dialed in for pictures, only to get up here and for the sky to open up on me. Drove the car back in the pouring rain, dried it off, the sun came out briefly, I tried it again, the clouds came back in, and for the last 5 days, we've had nothing but rain. So let me put the top down on this car, now that the sun is out, and show you what this thing looks like with the top down. Now this is a very, very easy top-down system. Essentially, you have these 2 latches here. You reach in, unlatch one, unlatch the other, and then right here on the dashboard, you'll see the tonneau cover open. Rear quarter windows go down automatically. I'm going to freeze it right there for a quick second. Show you what it looks like in process here. Top fold down. The quarter windows, like I said, go down automatically. The boot opens, top folds in here. It's actually quite neat how Coachbuilders engineered these cars. I didn't bring my tripod, or else I usually try to show you the whole process on the outside. Hold it down there. Now, one thing I've mentioned before in the hard boot cars is when you unlatch these latches, you have to relatch them. Now, I forgot to do it before I dropped the top down, but if I was still in the car and I remembered, I would have latched these latches, because these little guys will not clear the boot here if they're left in the up position. So it's good to do that right when you unlatch it, and you kind of break that header when you're sitting here. But I'm doing 2 things at the same time. So, boot comes down. Oh, gotta cycle that back down again. Oh, no, I pushed it the wrong way. That's why. All right. And just like that, with 1 touch of a button and 2 latches, you have a full drop-top, custom-built Cadillac convertible. Now, I think Coachbuilders did a great job with these cars as far as the lines. Honestly, these cars could have been made as a factory convertible, and I think these cars would have done great doing so. But it's kind of cool to have a unique, kind of rare, hard-to-find automobile like this. And these are getting hard to find because, like I've said in the last few that I've had, they get transferred from owner to owner, and if they're not garage or they're not well cared for, they age. And they age, if they're just driven to the beach every day with the top down, the leather gets beat up. This car was cared for. It was loved. I got to straighten that steering wheel out. My OCD is going crazy right now. This car was really well cared for, really well loved. And that's evident throughout the whole entire car because it is just absolutely beautiful. Now, I'm going to go around. I'm going to show you a few little minor flaws, point out some things with the car. It's a beautiful white diamond tri-stage paint. Absolutely gorgeous condition. This is the ESC model. My last one was an ETC. ETC is the Touring Coupe. I believe ESC is Eldorado Sport Coupe. But essentially the biggest difference, I believe there's a horsepower difference by like 20 horsepower with the North Star. Exterior-wise and cosmetic-wise, the biggest difference is you can see here these chrome pieces in the bumper, the chrome license plate pocket. All that stuff is monotone on an ETC or a Touring Coupe, and they added that as chrome with these ESCs, which I actually kind of like better. I think it's just enough chrome. You get the belt line molding down there on the doors. Same with the grille on these cars. Instead of being all monotone, you got the chrome grille. Otherwise, on the outside, if it had the factory wheels, you would be able to tell the difference there as well. Getting to the inside, difference between the ETC and the ESC is not a ton, other than I believe this is wood here. That would be wood, the ashtray. The leather would be perforated leather. Wood steering wheel, I don't know. Maybe that was an option. That I'm drawing a blank on, to be quite honest with you. But I know the ETCs have the wood paneling on the shifter and the ashtray, where the ESCs don't, and then the perforated leather. So we'll start on the outside here, show you a few little minor things. Paint on this car is absolutely beautiful. Chrome on this car is absolutely beautiful. You can see the depth of the taillights. Bumpers are in real nice shape. You can see a little subtle Coachbuilders limited emblem on those rear marker lights. If you're looking at these exhaust tips and you're saying, well, geez, those stick out quite a bit. Well, they do. You can actually see inside the original tips. These were an E&G classic exhaust tip, probably put on when the wheels were put on from the dealer. They kind of extended the tip out a little bit, kind of gives it a kind of a meaty, aggressive look. But look at how clean they are. I mean, just super clean. Just gives you a indication of how well this car was cared for. No rub marks on the bumpers. Nice straight quarter panels down both sides. You have the rear tonneau here with the third brake light. I believe a few of the little LEDs are burned out on that, but it does light up partially. Full power antenna. Like I said, these are 18-inch 235 50/18 Vogue tires wrapped in Vogue Stardust wheels. And again, these wheels were known to corrode if you didn't take care of them. Seeing in these pockets here how mint these wheels are, absolutely beautiful. Now, this car also has its original set of 16-inch chrome wheels. They're on the original Michelin XW4 tires. So I don't know when these wheels were put on. At the mileage, it's hard to say. If you do not like these Stardust wheels, those wheels can be put on. But I think these wheels give it a great look. As far as acquiring this car, with those wheels or with the other wheels, I'll include the wheels with the car. The problem is getting the wheels to you. I could probably only fit one wheel in the trunk. The rest of the wheels would have to go in the car to ship it. So if you're from a distance, that might be a little bit of a problem. I guess let me know which wheel set you want on it. But I really think that these wheels set this car off. The tires are no good on the other wheels. These are really nice Vogue tires. But you can see here, it's just real clean down both sides. All the door moldings, beautiful tri-stage pearl. Got a little itty bitty chip right there. Couple little very minor marks right on the door edge there. Come up over the windshield. Beautiful original solar shield windshield. Another beautiful 18-inch Vogue wheel and tire. And again, look at inside those spokes. How beautiful, beautiful gold ornamentation. Real clean inside the fender wells. Has a beautiful two-tone painted pinstripe down the side. It's kind of like a very light gray or maybe like a shale to match the interior, and black. Beautiful, beautiful front end on this car. A few very minor, 2 stone chips there. Maybe 1 or 2 more right there on the hood that had been touched up at some point. But you can see all across the hood, real beautiful paint on this car. Coloring and the emblem is great. Tell it was garage. The minor bug marks. I think there was one, you can see here, a little star or stress indentation right there. But overall, very, very clean. All the lamps and lenses are in great shape. Little bug. Beautiful, beautiful condition. Again, Vogue, custom built, 235 50 18s, wrapped around these beautiful Stardust wheels. Just absolutely gorgeous all the way throughout. Really, really nice wheels. Look at that beautiful shine. Couple very minor chips right there on that edge. A little rub mark there. I mean, this is like as to be expected type stuff. Really, this car, it's hard to knock anything crazy on this car because it's all very, very minor. You know, this car is a 2001. Think of the age of this car. You almost have to expect just a few little chips here and there, but real nice throughout. And we're already back to where we started from. So let's dive on to the inside of this coach-built convertible. And then we're going to take it for a spin. Look at that side profile. And I think it just sits so proper. Like usually these cars slouch a little bit in the back. That's not uncommon to see. Look at the stance on that car. It looks perfect. Like you don't see that often with these. Even a non-convertible version where it doesn't have all the roof weight sitting in the back. This car just has a beautiful stance to it. Obviously the level ride is working perfectly. It just looks the part. All right, jumping on to the inside of this beautiful drop top Cadillac. You can see a beautiful shale leather interior. Now this is a very common interior, very popular interior color for these cars. Oh, look at that. Lansing Car Craft Center. Great people crafting great vehicles. Birthday to this car, 6 of 00. Has the anti-theft decals. Nice clean door jambs throughout. This is the Coachbuilders sticker here, saying that the car conforms to all federal safety standards. But you can see here, they didn't have to do much modification to the door because these are pillarless doors anyways. But you can see here where they made the cut into the quarter panel for the power windows. Now, these hard boot cars cover all the back here, and then I have these 2 little, I call them jelly bean covers, that cover these sections here, clip in here, and pop in right there. It's like a convertible top boot for a full boot. Like most of the time you don't use them, but they are in the car. I'll show you those in just a minute. Real nice interior condition wise. You know, these cars I've mentioned before get ragged out pretty easy because they were never meant to be convertibles. So the leather, the materials weren't meant to be exposed like these cars are. But you can see here all real nice shape. The grab handles, the switches, little map pocket here, even the speaker grill. Dash pad on this car is in great shape, not all warped up like you usually see these. Beautiful leather wrapped wood wheel, very, very nice shape. All the switches and stuff. We'll show you some of that stuff a little bit later. This was fresh when I first took pictures of it, but like I said, this is like my 4th attempt of trying to do this car. Nice, soft, supple leather throughout this car. Like I said, this is an ESC, so it doesn't have the perforated center, but otherwise very similar to the other Eldorados. It has the, what do you call that? Tilting headrests. Dual power on both sides. Power seat works. Recline works. One of the things that's kind of common with these cars, and this car suffers from it, is this switch going in the forward position sometimes sticks. You can see here I kind of got to do it a couple times to get it to move. There you go. I do have a new switch included in the glove box with this car. Power lumbar. Flip this up here. This is kind of one of the things that maybe wasn't thought out the best, but there's really not much else they could have done with it. It would have been great if the seat belts were mounted to the seats on these cars like the later DTSs have, but in this case you kind of got to do a little acrobat work. In my own personal, I had one of these Eldorados back in the day, and what I did was I took one of the screws out of here, looped this out, put it back, so this was still here, this little bracket or loop, eye loop. But that way, this could be pushed down. You could almost step over it. It was kind of out of the way. Just food for thought. But in the back here, you can see comfortable space for 3 people. You know, that's one of the great things about these cars is they're built on kind of like a full-size coupe rendering. So, you know, you can put 2 and then 1 in the center here. Obviously not the most comfortable in the center, but a nice car that most convertibles you cannot put that many people in. And, you know, with the seats in a far back position, you can see how much leg room you actually still have. Not that it's crazy amounts of leg room, I know. But considering you drive a Mustang or an Audi convertible, those seats are right back up to the back seat. You really don't have space. It does have car seat anchors. You know, if you have a car seat passenger in the back there, but you can see here leather in this car is in real nice shape. Carpeting as well. Get under there. All the seat backs, beautiful condition. Close this door. Go around the passenger side. And you still retain the original shoulder belts and then the lap belt in the center. Open up this door. Nice and clean throughout. I like the strikers are all in nice shape. No corrosion or anything like that. You can see here the gasket where they made the cut. That would be the rear quarter window sitting in there. Comes up out of there. Door panel on this side. Beautiful shape as well. Pocketing. Real clean. Again, that dash pad. Real nice shape. Even the wood trim. All in great shape, no stress or sun cracks from drying out. Like I said, this car, I think this was a convertible top up more than a convertible top down. It's funny, you see these cars, they're either used to shit, pardon my language, because they were built as convertibles, and the tops are mint and the interiors are mint. I'm sorry, I'm reversing that. They're used up and the tops are torn up and the interiors are torn up with low miles. My first one had like 70,000 miles. The seats are destroyed. The top was dried out. Somebody loved it and used it as a convertible. You know, the carpet had sand in it. This car was probably a top up, air conditioning on, more than it was top down cruising, you know, which is kind of odd for a convertible, especially a non-factory convertible. Beautiful leather throughout here. Passenger seat works flawlessly. Center stack. We'll show you all that in just a minute. Flip this forward here. You can see in the back. Nice and clean back here. Even the carpeting. Now, usually you don't get these cars in this type of condition. Like I said, that's why the last one was real special. Being a one-owner car, not common to see that type of stuff, you know. And then this one being a /2 but both long-term ownership / slide in here. We got 40,413 miles. But let me get the books and stuff out and show you what I got there in just a minute. All right, perfect time where I love to show you what I got for keys. Now, I only have one set of keys here with me with the #1 memory recall, original gold set of keys. Beautiful tribute to the 90s through early 2000s Cadillacs with the gold key delivery. Now, you can see the seat just moved back. I don't think the seat switch was replaced because this does have memory recall functions where 1 and 2, you don't have to actually move the seat. It moves for you, and there it is, moving perfectly fine. So when the seat recalls its memory, it doesn't have that stumbling issue. It's the switch. I don't know if it's the contacts, but you can see here a new replacement switch should you want to replace it. Also has this bag of fasteners, which I'm really not too sure what those were intended for. Also have this bag here. This is with the lug tool and center cap key for those Vogue wheels. Put that in there. You have the original owner's manual. Open that up. Some real cool things there. Roadside card. The original notepad, Cadillac key, books and stuff like that. Ooh. Doubt that pen works. Those things are all dried up by now. What do we have here? Ooh, look at this. This you don't see often. The Coachbuilders Limited Hard Boot Owner's Manual. Now it's funny, the last one that I had was a 2001 as well, and it had like just 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper stapled together from Coachbuilders. Clean vinyl top with Arm & Hammer laundry detergent. Well, that must be why the top looks so nice. Coachbuilders Limited, High Springs, Florida. Troubleshooting, lowering. See, it even says in here, it's critical to close the latches. This is actually done a lot nicer than the last one. And it's weird because both were 2001s. That brown one that I had, or Cashmere, I think was the actual name of the color. That car was a 2001 as well, one owner. So they must have changed the way they did their manuals. And these are just dealer brochures. This one is on the Eldorado itself, 2001. And I absolutely love this because, 59 Cadillac. And it's kind of cool. They have it in a few other shots. Looks like, oh, there it is. So you can see here, this is the ETC with the perforated leather and then the wood center console. And there's the 59, my favorite. So anyways, geez, usually I'm all over the place. Like I said, I've done this video so many times that like my mind's just a little boggled right now. 40,413 miles on this car. I'm going to pop the hood. I'm going to pop that trunk. I do have a second set of keys for this car. Original set with a remote. So it does have 2 sets of keys, but I don't have them with me right now. These are the little, what I call jelly bean inserts, but pretty basic setup where you kind of slip this guy in here, doing it one-handed, and then apparently you can do it one-handed, and then, oh, there's a latch? No. That guy has to line up. There we go. With that, so it kind of gives you that finished look, although then you got to take them on and off, disengage that, slide it out. Doesn't look horrible without the jelly beans inserted. Now, how did I have these? I do have all 4 original floor mats. A little bit of soiling on the driver's side, maybe a stain right there. That was an old stain. The 2 rears, trunk mat, and under here is your spare tire. And I believe also trunk cargo mat. You can see it took up some of the rear trunk space. That's where the convertible top is sitting. So like I said, to include the other set of wheels, you kind of almost have to make a choice now what set you want on the car, because I don't think you'll even fit 2 wheels in here. You'll probably just fit 1 with the size of the wheel, and you can't go up high. And I really don't want to put the wheels in the car, but we'll leave that up to the next buyer. Power trunk pull down works perfectly. Real clean engine compartment here. 32 valve Cadillac North Star. Just real tidy. No oil or anything like that. And I didn't even clean under here. This is kind of how I got it, because I wanted to show you how clean it was. You can see there's a little bit of dust and build up on some pieces still, because I just wanted to really show you how well this car was cared for throughout its life. I didn't do any intense cleaning. I didn't do any cleaning essentially at all under here. Even this panel here, this guy right here, it's real common for those to break away and just disintegrate. That covering over the blower motor, under hood light works. Even the under hood liner is in great shape. Just a real clean, tidy, well-kept car. Deville Cadillac. It's a warning label to tell you don't bring it anywhere else but Deville for service. Alright, now look at that. Let's take this thing for a spin. Alright, we're behind the wheel here. I'm going to take this Cadillac for a spin. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I got my microphone, so you should be able to hear me with the top down. But we will put the top back up towards the end of this video. But we're going to take it for our normal test drive here right now. Now, these cars aren't really, I mean, I guess they are old. But I wouldn't consider them old. You know, classic, like, you know, 50s, 60s car old. But just from having a few of these cars, I can speak from experience how much attention these cars grab. Just because nobody's used to seeing these things. You know, when anybody who knows Eldorados, especially of this vintage, knows that these cars did not come in a convertible form. When I drive my dad's DTS convertible around, same thing. It grabs tons of attention. Wow, that's a cool car. So if you're not going for that, you know, 2004 Mustang, previous rental car, you know, just want to drop the top type of convertible look or feel, this is a great car to do that and grab some attention. It's a beautiful car, and you say you're driving a Cadillac. With them Vogue spinning, just a beautiful thing, really. Wind in your hair. Now this car gets up and cruises quite nicely. I want to make sure nothing's blowing out behind me because I got loose things in the back seat, but it should be good. She runs down the road real nice, real smooth. Cruise control engages. Don't want to creep too much up. Brakes are nice and firm. Got a beautiful brake pedal. It's really hard to beat a feeling like this. Beautiful, almost summer day. Finally the weather is breaking. And we've had nothing but cold weather and rain. Last Friday, when I got this car in, I sweated my butt off. It was like 85 degrees on Friday. And then Saturday, after the rain came through, it was like upper 40s, like complete total 180. And it's been cold and miserable since. And even today, this is the first time we've really seen the sun. But the sun's actually not out. We got the clouds or haze, I would say, from the wildfires in Canada, kind of giving us a little bit of a haze today. You can see the sun there. It was really strange this morning waking up. It was like orange out, you know, with the sun and the haze. But daylight today, it's beautiful. It's, I don't know, 76 degrees outside. Top's down. Or you have the option to put the top up and have that air conditioning running. So to recap this car, got this car in from a local car collector. Very, very particular guy. Collects only the best, and this car is an example of that. Serviced it. The car is turnkey. It even has a fresh oil change, not due for another 2,500 miles. All the brakes are in great shape. Tires have really deep tread. I believe one thing I will say is the date code on the tires, I believe, are from 2012. So the tires are kind of just over that 10-year mark, but they roll down the highway beautiful. They don't show any dry rot. They have thick tread. I believe those are put on when he bought the car, those road tires. So those tires only have 8,000 miles maybe on them, and they're probably a 50,000, 60,000 mile tire. But the car just cruises down the road nicely. If there are any flat spots or anything like that, I'd say replace them, but definitely something I wouldn't do personally. Any questions about this car, give me a call. My name is Anthony here at Specialty Motor Cars, 978-930-1004. Check me out on my website with all the still pictures, specialtymotorcars.net, Instagram, specialtymotorcarsNH. For all those sneak peeks, you would have known this car came in just last week if you follow me on either Instagram or Facebook, either of those two social media platforms. Price on this car. Price is going to be $22,995 for this 2001 Eldorado ESC coach built convertible turnkey cruising car. Any questions, again, 978-930-1004. Definitely give me a call if you have any. I'd love to help you out with any concerns. And like I always say, do not let distance stop you from getting a dream car like this put in your driveway. It's kind of funny, the last Eldorado convertible I had, I tell you I can ship anywhere. Funny story. That car came out of Venice, Florida, and then was sold back down to Plant City, Florida. And I looked it up on a map. Oh yeah, look at the chrome spinning. I love checking out the reflection in a cool car like this. Oh yeah. The car, I shipped it up out of Florida and I shipped it right back down to Florida, basically almost where the car came from. So don't let distance stop you from getting a dream car like this in your driveway. I can help arrange all types of shipping, door-to-door transportation. I'm going to pull over, I'm going to put the top up on this car, and then we're going to cruise it back to the shop here. I think they just had a carnival here. That's why all the lines are painted like this. And just a real quick walk around, again, to capture that beautiful drop-top custom Cadillac 2001 Cadillac Eldorado by Coachbuilders Limited out of Florida. 40,000 mile car. Looking for a summer car? Give me a call. 978-930-1004. Thanks everybody for watching.